The Washington Post is reporting about the National Parent Teachers Association upset about President Obama's call for more armed school guards. So this, I guess it's a statement from the National PTA, said that they like a lot of President Obama's new proposals to improve school security, but that calling for more armed guards is, as they call it, a disappointment. Now, President Obama put together a number of different steps to make schools safer for students, and this included hiring school resource officers and counselors and a number of other individuals. But additionally, they are looking at putting in some armed guards, and there's a lot of controversy over whether this is or isn't something that makes sense. Our opinion on the program is that it's of questionable help, and we already heard about the armed guard who left his gun in the bathroom after he left the bathroom and was walking around without the gun. Somebody could have grabbed the gun from the bathroom. And we've also questioned whether multi-way shootouts, broadly speaking, are the way to resolve school violence, which, again, is something that there are a number of incredibly significant incidents every year, but broadly is not actually the source of most gun violence, which is individual handgun homicides.
Right. Now, presumably, if the shooter wants to continue his killing spree and not take his own life, there's going to be a shootout that happens anyway, right?
That very well may be.
And we used to have an officer walking around our school.
Well, I was going to get to that,
He carried a gun. I mean, I didn't really think anything of it.
Right.
Of course, that was before all the shootings.
Well, it's before a few things happened with that officer, too, which we'll talk about in a second. But the nonprofit Justice Policy Institute says that there is no clear correlation between police in schools and student safety. And according to the Institute, there were 3,360 students per school resource officer and 73 student-reported crimes in 2003. In 2007, 4 years later, there were less resource officers and the lowest levels of student-reported incidents of theft and violence since 1997. However, these numbers have ebbed and flowed over time. But what's clear, Natan, is there is no clear link that more resource officers with guns is something that reduces crime.
I don't know. In any one school that's having issues with violence, including gun violence, it might help to put cops in. But I think that the reason why Obama proposed this isn't because he thinks it's necessarily a useful or a good idea. Just he wanted to create the perception that he's willing to play ball with the NRA and compromise with right-wing pro-gun forces. So It's more of a political move than a logical policy one.
We have a couple stories related to the school resource officer we had in high school. One is when I was 16, but I didn't yet have my license. I had to be 16 and a half to take the test. I got the idea that, hey, one day I was going to school halfway through. I said, you know what? I already have this car sitting in my garage. I have my permit already. It's like 5 blocks to school. I'm just going to drive my car over. I mean, who's going to know? There's cars everywhere. Who knows what's going on? And the school resource officer pulled me over. I had no license. And the car got towed. And he was nice. He just said, just go to school and you can pick the car up later. I could have gotten in way more trouble for that, I think.
No doubt, yeah.
Yeah. And then the school resource officer's tenure at our high school ended when allegedly he had sex with a student. Now, that's something you don't want school resource officers doing, right?
Right. But I don't think it would be safe to assume that most officers at the school would be conducting that type of...
that kind of sting operation?
Right.
Yeah, most of them wouldn't be doing that. That was a whole situation, though, when that happened.
Oh, boy, was it? Yeah.
And now, have you independently confirmed that from multiple sources? I feel like you have.
Basically.
More or less.
Yeah. I heard basically firsthand about some of the shenanigans involved. Yeah.
All right. So there it is. School resource officers. Just anecdotal. Just something to think about. That's it.